Welcome to my YouTube channel, where we bring you the captivating stories of people who have had near-death experiences. In each episode, we sit down with an individual who has survived a near-death experience and hear their first-hand account of what happened during their NDE. From encounters with deceased loved ones to feelings of peace and love, these stories are often heartwarming and thought-provoking. Don't forget to subscribe and hit like to our content.
I had been caring for my terminally ill mother prior to her death. After her passing, I was exhausted physically and mentally. I was also still trying to hold on to my job, cope with the loss of my mom, and the lack of help from my family. I believed I was coming down with something viral and had laid down on top of my bed to rest for a little bit. This was on a Friday afternoon, 4 days after Mom died and a day after burying her. I woke up Monday morning after I had this experience, thinking it was still Friday. It seemed to have lasted just a moment in time, but I had been out 3 nights and 2 days. I recall being compelled to sleep and lying down. Just for a moment, I saw myself on the bed as I was looking down from the ceiling. This was not as in a dream, but as an awareness, as if I was awake and looking down. I had the sensation of floating, like going fast over a hilly road in a car and are weightless for a moment. But this feeling was a sustained sensation. Looking down, I thought I needed to change my clothes. I wondered where my 3 cats were, as they usually hung out wherever I was, especially in the bed. Then, things didn't matter anymore. It was like being up there, maybe like 15 feet above my bed. Suddenly the needs or realities of the world dropped away. Instantly, I was rising up through an endless dark void. As I rose up, it was like being in a rocket ship. The higher up I went, concerns such as fashion, friends, job, money, and all the important things I cared about in life were stripped away. Actually, they fell away like shells from around my consciousness until there was only my awareness. I had no artifice of identity, ego, or any earthly concerns. I was not having any form of experience or sensation that would have connected me in this self to the one in the physical one back in the bed. This was the foremost life-altering experience, as this was a realization that all I have on earth stays here and means nothing. I am energy and part of a collective. I am a dispersed being. Although I am an individual, I am also connected in this other place, which is every place but not in the physical world. After that deshelling of my consciousness, or thoughts, or reality, whatever you want to call it, I found myself in darkness. I was not afraid, and I was not alone. It was not complete darkness, as we detect with our eyes. This was a place that our bodily senses don't work in, because I was no longer in our physical world on earth. I had no body, just a sense of being, an absolute peace and harmony. I was not happy, sad, scared, or awed. I felt an absence of emotion and sensation, and an awareness of others who were present. I had instant knowledge that I was there, that I was like them, and they were there like me. It was like I was 1 tablespoon of seawater and poured into the sea. I knew I was an individual, but now I was a part of the whole. Sounds crazy, but that's the feeling. In this void, I would describe it as shades of black. I had the fuzzy awareness of the top third of the hooded, robed beings with 2/3 in blackness all around like space. There were no words, just instant awareness. There was a main being without gender, it seemed. I got the awareness that they did not want me to be afraid, and that I saw them like this so I would not be afraid. I let them know I was not afraid. They told me that they knew me, and 2 of the beings were relatives of mine who had gone back to this place before I had been born. I don't remember who they said they were and didn't feel like I knew them, but perhaps that I knew of them from my physical body's experience. One was there to watch over me in the physical world, like a protective entity. I felt a loving sensation, or a deep affinity, which was beautiful without all the earthly feelings that had been shelled on the way there. I was told there was a newer person there, like a baby that hadn't been born into my physical family. There was also a being there who was not connected to me, or the other beings who knew me, or connected to my physical being. The main being said that, one, there was no word to describe one from another, was learning, and I felt that being's energy as weaker than the others. My mom, and others in my family who died were not there. I asked if I was dead. I understood that I was not dead. I was there because I had the sincere desire to know of the things of the physical place, and the things not in the physical place. Here, I was everywhere, which makes no sense in the physical place of Earth but makes perfect sense when you are there. I was becoming aware of knowledge I used to know from before my physical body, and that I had been there and back lots of times, as they all do in that place. I understood that only two things mattered in the physical place. Love and knowledge had to be experienced in the physical world because there was no way to have sensation in that place. We go to the physical world and suffer for the benefit of love and knowledge, while the rest is irrelevant. We are all connected. It is best to be kind in the physical place because most suffering gets in the way of understanding love and knowledge. But suffering and pain are also necessary, as we grow through different physical forms here. At first, we don't get to choose. Then as our energy becomes stronger, we can choose where we go here as we are born. The main being said I learned enough about knowledge, now I was to go back and learn about love. The information about love is not what we think of here in the physical world. Love is not sexual or possessive, but spiritual. Love is more like endless compassion, without judgment. I was to go back and learn about love. I was not alone, they were with me and guiding me, and I would know I had the capability to communicate through this tone of thought that we were presently communicating with. I understood there was no God, but the energy of us all in that place that some call God. This energy is within us, even in this physical world. But once we are in the physical world, we cannot easily remember, or acknowledge, and struggle with learning love through religion. I understood this in the physical place was the acknowledgement, but I needed to know love. I felt like I was remembering more about this place and wanted to stay there. I was drawn to the closeness and affinity that I could not feel in this physical place. I wanted to stay, but the others urged me to go back, like they were happy for me to go and do more here. It was like you wishing someone well and to enjoy a vacation here in the physical place. There were other things, or knowledge that were exchanged, but I can't recall them, except for thinking they have no relevance in the physical place. Then I was over my bed. I saw my cats next to me and I woke up. I was much in the position as I saw myself from above, and bewildered for having such a bizarre dream. It was such a real and disturbing experience that it changed my perspective on relationships, love, sex, etc. I no longer judge people or think of good and evil the same way. I came back from this dream knowing that lesser evolved beings from the other place have less control and are more impulsive, wanting to get to this physical place because they become more powerful through being here. Earth is where we grow energy. I thought this was a long dream and was surprised to find I was asleep for a couple days. I thought if it was real, and I was up there meeting God, my mom would have been there. But she wasn't. I didn't see any dead people I knew in life. They moved on. I think when you run into someone and you think you know them, but have never met, this might be the case. Our physical beings here can't understand what happens there, but there is residual awareness, different for all due to development of the energy and the physical abilities of the body.